Ho ho, check, check. You know what time it is. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for everybody's favorite show. That's right. You know me. I'm your host with the most. Hit your bow with the flow. Hey, Chuggy Chuggy, yo, it's me, Calypso. What it do? What it do? What it do, everyone? Glad to have you back at Calypso's Lounge. And we are doing bar style TRT Tin Roof Tavern. Ladies and gentlemen, we are glad to be back. This is week number 2 of our wonderful adventure of owning a bar. We appreciate everybody coming out and joining us for these tips, tricks, and screw ups. We should start switching the order of those, I think. AvariceJD, so good to have you back, my friend. Frozen! What's happening? I missed you last week. Oh, boy, I got some updates for you, though. Got some updates for you guys. All right. First, you guys know how we do it. Let's hit the recap. One of these days, I'm going to have all my buttons back, and stuff will actually happen when I do that shit. Oh. In the meantime, here's what we got to talk about, guys. First of all, we did take a couple more days off. We went back over to see the family. You know me, I do every chance I get, I go see the family, especially because as soon as the bar opens, I will not see them for an extended period of time. So it's important that while the bar is not open, I go and see them. Well, small snafu. Yep. We went back and we it was actually over the weekend for Saturday and Sunday. We knew we had to be back Monday because, and that's part of the show coming up here. We had our first town hall meeting. Yay! This is where I click the button. Everyone cheers. Yay! Town hall meetings. Anyway, while we were visiting family, I must say I enjoyed the time. But Sunday was a very interesting wake up call. See, I was literally stepping out of the shower and my phone's going off. And for those of you that don't know me, I hate my phone. I'm an entrepreneur bar owner that has, I literally am tied to my phone now and I can't stand it. So as I'm getting out of the shower, my phone is ringing and I'm like, this is stupid. I am not going to pick up the phone while I'm literally dripping. And it just so happens that my eye catches my phone and I see sheriff's office. And I'm like, I'm going to answer the phone while I'm dripping wet, talk to the sheriff, see what he wants to do. What's hanging, buddy? Turns out our bar was open. And I don't mean like making money open, because if it would have, I would have been there. No, one of the doors was open on the bar. So I told the sheriff, no problem. I'm 3 hours away. I'm going to get there. There you go. 3 hours away. I'm on my way. I'll get there as fast as I can. We have three major doors on the side of our building that lead into the bar. One is the porch area. We actually have a porch. I normally show you around right now, but we're still not quite mobile to make that work. Plus, it's dark outside. You wouldn't see much. But anyway, we got a porch right off this front. And it's just some outdoor tables, pretty much was created for COVID-19. You guys know how every restaurant did something like that. The second door that we have is actually attached to our kitchen. So we call that one the kitchen door. Surprising. Oh, by the way, the first one's called porch door. The third door on the side of the building is actually where our dry storage is, and that's where all the employees go in. So we call it the employee entrance door. Now we switched that one up slightly, made that one slightly more difficult. The last door that we actually have attached to this building is what we call the front door. You guys are probably more clear with that one. But those are really all the doors that go into the building. Well, the sheriff was so nice enough to tell us that the kitchen door was flying open and would not stay closed, so we had to rush back right away. Now, when I say we rush back, I'm literally talking to my father, dripping, trying to dry off. I'm drying off with one hand, talking on the phone with the other, like, dude, we gotta go. Put all your stuff in, let's go. My father did what everybody else would do in that particular time when you needed, to leave immediately. Can you imagine it? He walked over to his dresser. He took the drawer out, emptied it right into his suitcase, zipped that son of a bitch up, and said, let's go. And he did. He got over it, he picked me up, and we drove 3 hours to the bar. Now, while we were on the way to the bar, I called my closest staff member, and I said, hey, I'm a little far away. You think you can just go sit outside for me? I know, right? A real one, I'm telling you. Can you just go sit outside for me? Don't go in. I don't know if anything like got in. I don't know if anything's in there. I don't know if someone broke in. It's trashed. I don't know anything other than my door won't close. So I'm like, just go sit outside. Make sure no one else goes in. I'll be there as fast as I can. I love my staff member. She's like, no problem. Got you. And when I pulled up about an hour and a half later, she was just sitting right outside. I don't know, reading, doing something on her phone. Didn't matter. But we come in, Olddawg and I, we come in, and turns out uh, there was nothing wrong with the kitchen door. It was actually locked, and no one could get in or out of it. So we started thinking, wait a minute, maybe the sheriff closed the door and locked it on his way out. Nope, no, that wasn't it. Sheriff didn't quite know our terminology for the doors, so the door that was open was our porch door. Yeah. I can tell you that when I got the call, my first thought was, crap, someone might have broken in. And man, that sucks. But as I was getting dressed and I was waiting for Olddawg, that thought kind of just kept leaving. Like I really wasn't hanging on to it much. Part of me, because I wanted to be positive, truth, I did. I was hoping, if I think positive, it'll be positive, everything will be okay. It'll happen. The other part of me was I'm naive and I want to give benefit of the doubt to people, especially in a small community. I don't want to burn bridges before I even get a chance to build. So that thought slowly was just exiting my mind. And when we walked in, I am happy to tell you that it does not seem to be any type of break-in. The door is completely fine. It was not jammed. It was not jimmied. It was not jelly. I don't know. Whatever words you want to use. It wasn't broken in any way. The inside the bar was not trashed. It was cold, but in all fairness, a cold front has moved in here where we're at. Great question, Frozen. Full inventory. Well, yes, yep, yes and no. I want to say yes and no because I have inventory from the previous owner, but I really don't know how accurate it is. And I didn't really count it because, quite frankly, I had to throw most of it out anyway. But from what I can tell, yes, we have a full inventory. Nothing was messed in the manager's office, which was locked up. Absolutely tight. That door wasn't messed with. We had just changed that lock. Everything looked like it was here. Literally, nothing looked like it was wrong. So, Olddawg and I got to thinking because, well, glad that nothing was wrong, but what the hell happened? And in fact, we thought about it. Olddawg and I, and mainly Olddawg, had just replaced that lock like hours before the fire department had gotten here that day. What was it, Friday? Friday, right? So just hours before the fire department showed up, we replaced the lock on the porch door. Well, look, Olddawg and I have this issue where we blame ourselves for absolutely everything that goes wrong. And so you can imagine that 3 hour car ride was a whole lot of, how the hell could I let this happen? I know, that's bad for you. That's how it is, especially when it's your own business. Something so silly can make your entire day and a week and potentially month hell. But we kept thinking about it. And it turns out we believe we know what caused the problem. And we don't think anyone broke in, and we don't think anyone came in. We think we did not properly lock the door. Yeah. So, what makes us believe that? Well, let me give you a little bit of evidence. Number one, turns out you have to turn that damn deadbolt lock approximately 90 degrees, and it better be exactly 90 degrees, because if it's not, if it's anywhere in the middle of that, or before or less than that, yeah, it seems like that door probably pops open. More so when we came in, that door was open and it was unlocked. And the reason why we kind of put together that that lock was not turned all the way is the fact that when we went to go back and turn it again, we could start to see the problem. We walked back to the door and saw that it wasn't completely locked. So it started to make us think, wait, shit. We turned it, we thought it was locked, we both walked over to it, thought it was locked, but we didn't actually lock it. Now, if this was the time that I would have all of my buttons, this is where I would hit the sad trombone button. An expensive lesson to learn. How was it expensive? Nothing was broken. Nothing was taken. How could it be expensive? Well, some things in this world are worth more than just money. Example. Unfortunately, on Sunday, we had to leave family day early. Olddawg and I couldn't participate in it, and we were sad for that. For several reasons. One, we weren't with the family. Two, we weren't with the family because we did something fucking stupid. And three, we missed someone's birthday. We actually planned on celebrating a birthday this last Sunday, someone in our family, and that meant something to us, but we had to go make sure that the bar was taken care of, so we missed that as well. That doesn't sit well with me. I know we don't always celebrate holidays. We actually don't like those types of things. But when it comes to your birthday, we like to get shots together and we toast. So I think it's only fitting that since I missed on Sunday, I'm going to do a quick little toast. Hope you guys will join me. So if you would, I'm going to give you about 43 seconds. That's a specific number. 43 seconds to get your shot ready to go. I don't care what it is. It could be a shot of weed for all I care. Give me a shot of water, shot of alcohol, shot of soda, a shot of Yoo-hoo. I watched Dodgeball the other day. I don't care what it is. Get it ready. Here we go. I got to give a toast to a family member of mine that's just recently celebrated a birthday, so I hope you guys will all join me real quick. Let's see. Frozen, I'm sorry, my friend. That sucks so much. Absolutely. Let's toast it up. You know what? If that was the worst case scenario that I missed time with family, I won't say that's okay, but I will say that's not a horrible day, right? The day could have been much, much worse. I could have walked into a much worse situation. So, expensive lesson to learn, but it was one that we needed. And so I thank it. So enough of that one. Let's put up our drinks. This first one, I can't even do it. I almost toasted with a Pepsi. I can't do that. I can't do that to the family member. Hold up. Nah. If we're gonna toast on a birthday, we gotta do it right. So I'm gonna get my drink ready. Here we go. You guys know, sponsored by Jaeger, baby. Here we go. All right. So the way we do it in my family, when it is your birthday, or whenever we do celebrate it eventually, we all like to go around and say at least one thing that we're appreciative of you for the entire year. And we can say as much as we want, but we at least want to say one good thing to remind ourselves of how much you mean to us, and we want you to know that. So, I'm not going to say their name out here because they don't have a call sign like the rest of us cool people. And I'm not going to put them out there like that. So this person knows exactly who I'm talking to. The family knows who I'm talking to. And I know they got the glass up right now. So here we go. Look at that TRT logo. Ooh, love it. Yeah, baby. All right. So to this person, I will say this. I have known you for actually a very short time. You've come into my life rather recently. And I can say that you have brought a lot of interesting things to me. And man, do I enjoy the conversations we have. So, on behalf of everybody else that's in this family that is unfortunately not here to say anything right now, so thank God we don't have to listen to all them right now. Hey, welcome to the family. We're glad you're here, and may many more of these come to fruition. Skull, happy birthday, my friend. All right. Ooh, man, I love that. Yeah, yeah. All right, we gotta chill that so we can drink later. Hold up. Ooh. By the way, my liquor store is starting to love me because I just buy bottles of Jaeger, and they're like, they think I'm crazy. All right, here we go. All right, that was the recap for the weekend. Um, Came back Sunday, everything was fine. Um, I could tell you that it's still a bit cold in the bar, which is very weird at night sleeping. Yeah. Uh, I don't know why actually. I haven't figured it out. Like we have heat in here. It's fine right now. Like I feel great. There's nothing wrong there. But there's something at night, dude, it just gets a little chilly. And in fact, I woke up in the middle last night. I don't know what time it was. I learned this lesson a long time ago of never look at your clock when you wake up in the middle of the night. It messes with your entire sleep schedule. No matter what time it is, it will mess with your schedule. And I find that if I don't look at an actual watch or anything like that, I usually can get back to sleep no problem. I don't have really the restless nights like I used to. So anyway, I'm checking around my surroundings because I'm walking to the restroom and I'm like, oh, it's dark outside. Perfect. It's not time to get up. I'm okay. No big deal. Go back and I lay in my bed. My pillow actually had fallen off where I was sleeping. By the way, for those of you that have been with us since day one, dude, we got some cots, man. We got sleeping bags and cots now. We moving up. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so my pillow fell off my cot. And I walked over and I put the pillow back on the cot and I'm like, all right, let's get some sleep. And I laid down and oh my God, I nearly froze. Dude, my pillow was so cold. I swear to you, I pulled that thing out the walk-in freezer. It sent shivers down my entire. I was in a sleeping bag, dude. I was burritoed up in that, and I was cold as could be because my pillow was so freaking cold. So anyway, we're trying to figure out where the draft is coming from. We're not quite sure. Why is it cold? Well, it turns out in central Ohio, they've decided to hit a little bit of a cold break. It got down to about 22 degrees, and yeah, we woke up yesterday. No, correction. We woke up yesterday. That is right. Yeah, it was yesterday, right, old dog? I think it was them. Anyway, yesterday we had about 2 inches of snow. A little bit under, I think. They said it was 2 inches. I put my face in it. It didn't feel like 2 inches. I've been in 2 inches of white powder before, and that didn't feel like 2 inches. Different smell, I can tell you that much. But anyway, about 2 inches of snow. But yeah, look, here's the thing. Most of it's gone already. Most of it. Could you guys do me a favor though? Avarice might see this at some point, and he's not a fan of snow. So don't tell him, okay? Because I kind of need him to show up. And if he doesn't show up because there's snow, I'm blaming all y'all. All right? Don't tell him. That's important. Perfect. I know I can trust you guys. Most of the snow's gone. Don't tell you any. I don't know. Some weird thing. Anyway, um, now let's catch you up with the first town hall meeting. Frozen! Come on, man! Town hall meeting was last night, Monday, 7 p.m. Dude, I felt like monster trucks were going to show up the way it was announced to me. I really did. I was excited. Have any of you ever been to a town hall meeting? They're boring. And look, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. You're not going to believe me, but it's 100% the truth. I want you guys all, Frozen actually been to one for a scout. Okay, so then you can attest to this. You ready for this? Bag me up and if I'm wrong, tell them the truth. All right, here we go. Ready? Here we go. I want you guys to think back to high school for just a few minutes. No matter how old you are, I want you to think back to high school. And I want you to think about all those nerdy kids. Yeah, you know the ones I'm talking about, the ones that would wake up like really early and show up to school and they would go to things like Key Club and Skills USA and whatever goofy organization that got kids together under this false umbrella that we will turn them into these wonderful people if we can wake them up at the crack of dawn. Okay? Now, if you're thinking about those particular organizations, the town hall meeting runs exactly like those meetings. Exactly like those meetings. You have your treasurer, you have your secretary, you have your speaker, you have your note taker. You have all these people around this table that think that they're important and can make all these really big decisions, but none of them know really what the hell they're doing. Can I prove that? Well, let me explain to you what I spent an hour and a half doing yesterday. Part of the reason why I wasn't here. I know, usually we try to stream. Yesterday, I couldn't. Why? Listen, let me tell you. First of all, they spent, I don't know, 30-ish minutes talking about trees. Now, it turns out that there's this tree a couple roads down, not too far. I haven't seen it yet. I forgot to walk by it. In case you didn't notice, rewind about 35 seconds where I said it was cold outside. But there's some trees down over on a street a little bit away. And I guess during Halloween, when the little kids were walking by this tree, it was a very scary tree. Like it would cause problems. Like, and no joke, one of the ladies even said it nearly decapitated them. Dude, unless somebody in the tree, I don't think it's decapitating them. But whatever. I a bit over the top, but I haven't seen it. Maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe it's the it tree of Pittsburgh, Ohio. I don't know. Anyway, so they finally came to the conclusion that they're going to go ahead and poison two of the trees and go ahead and get them out of there. But the reason that it took so long for them to discuss this wasn't even necessary if they were going to get rid of them, which that's really the majority of the discussion. But most of their time was spent on what should we do with the wood when we cut down the tree. Now, I think that's an important topic. I really do. I'm from the city. If you ask someone like me from the city what we should do with a bunch of tree wood, we're going to tell you, I don't know what the hell you want to do with it. We don't do anything with it in the city. We don't burn it or anything. We don't take it and put it in our house like it's a Fir Douglas Christmas tree or something. Like we wouldn't know anything to do with that. Am I right? But now, if you're talking more countryside, which by the way, this is small farm town village, dude, that's firewood. Well, to some people. Some people would be able to use it for cooking, some for firewood, but the type of tree, what it is. And by the way, I learned this last night in the town hall meeting. Certain types of tree you shouldn't put in your firewood. Did you know that? I knew there were certain types of wood that you didn't actually burn in like a fire pit, like a campfire. I knew that. But as far as like wood that you didn't put in your fireplace, I just thought you weren't allowed to put people in there. I didn't realize there were different types of wood. I thought it was like smoking. Different types of flavor of wood gave it different types of chimney smoke. I just thought that was kind to your neighbors. I don't know. Whatever. Guess not. Does that say Olddawg OG? The walnut tree is hurting them kids. That is true. That is exactly what we heard. I ain't even pretending. Like they were complaining about the walnut tree. Anyway, moral of that 30-minute story was they're getting rid of the trees. And then they're going to put the fire or the wood out with a big old free sign for the entire village so people will come and get it. Saves the village a good $200 to $400 for cleaning up that wood. Yep, that was 30 minutes of my hour and a half. I wish I was joking. Okay. Second thing on the docket. Well, let's see, there was a speed bump issue. Turns out the village just put in 2 recent speed bumps, and one of the big old farmer trucks Yeah, I guess it bottomed out on one of the speed bumps and like put a divot in it. Now, at first, this story was boring me, but then there was something that happened that really made me start laughing out loud in the middle of a town hall meeting, and I'm not sure that was appropriate, but at the time it felt like it was. Apparently, that farmer in that truck called up and was like, "Hey, when you gonna pay for the damages of my truck?" Yeah, that'd be about the time I started laughing out loud because I'm like, "Hold up, dude, you're in a semi truck, and if you bottomed out on that, I don't even know what you did in your truck to cause that problem. I think the speed bump needs an apology, actually." But what do I know? I just work a bar. I don't know. So that was the second thing on the docket. Oh, by the way, the village decided that their lawyers said that they were not liable, so they're not going to pay for the truck or anything like that. They are going to get that divot that is in the speed bump actually taken care of. Good news, I heard it's for free. It's not going to cost extra money. Yeah. All right. So that was the second thing on the docket. What was the other thing they were talking about that took a while? I don't remember. It really wasn't that overly important. None of it was. Oh, although one part that did happen, some guy got up and he's a local farmer, and I guess they have a contract with the village. I don't know exactly what all that entails. They didn't go over it in detail. He was just there to get them to sign the new contract, just to keep it going. Now, what caught my attention about this is the fact that the man started talking. He goes, "Wait a minute, I just wanted to say something." And he goes, "Can you have the people that are like putting in all the leaves, can you have them move them to the like actual leaf pile that we've got going on?" Now, the mayor, and at the time I didn't know he was the mayor, just so we're clear. I should have known because he was the one doing all the talking, but he didn't actually announce himself, so I didn't know who he was. Dude, he could have been the announcer for mud wrestling. I wouldn't have known any different, right? So, anyways, the mayor, right? Yeah. So the mayor looks at this farmer, right? And he goes, "Well, I know this is probably a hassle, but could you like put up a sign or something that kind of tells you, where to put the leaves?" And the farmer, without missing a beat, this was the second time I laughed out loud in a town hall meeting. Again, not sure I was supposed to. The farmer goes, "Well, I don't know what more I could do. There are two tall trees and a giant pile of leaves." Dude, I'm rolling in the back. I was like, "Dude, what more of a sign do you need?" Just put them with the rest of the leaves. Yeah, this is the town hall meeting. I'm not even joking. I had more fun laughing at the problems going on. Okay. Um, However, I know, right, dude? That's what they're talking about. Some stuff I did find out. First of all, if you guys were reading the preview for today's show, I put a little sneak peek in there. Olddawg and Avarice might have some new jobs. Let me explain to you a little bit. Turns out one of the things that got covered in that hour and a half meeting is there's not one, not two, but there are four opening council members or council seats that need to be filled in January. And everyone around the table who absolutely didn't know who we were at the time when they were saying all this started looking around the room. It was like, yeah, there's a lot of fresh faces in here. Maybe one of them will step up. Pay attention to this story. It's going to get fun here soon. So, we get to a part of the town hall meeting, and the mayor goes, "Hey, I guess we're into new business, and we got some new faces in here." And that's all he said, by the way. He didn't say anyone want to step up, anyone want to talk. He didn't say anything like that. He ended it right there. We got some new faces. And I looked around. Nobody jumped up out of their seat. No one knew what to do, as far as I was concerned. So I did what I knew best. I talked. I got up and I said my spiel. "Hey, I'm Shay Smith. I'm the new bar owner. Blah 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 blah." Now, for the most part, it was a lot of fun. I love talking. I actually hate it. If I'm being honest, I hate public speaking. I love talking. Hate public speaking. Streaming's easy. There ain't nobody in front of me. I can listen to you guys all day long, but I'm not necessarily directly in front of you. Now, Olddawg just changed that, and I'm not even lying to you. I got butterflies in my stomach as I watched him move. When I was a teacher for 10 years, I missed almost 0 days in 10 years. Like I did not miss school. And every single day before I started school, I had to pep myself up. I'm like, okay, all right, you're going to be all right. Nope, I can put down the juice box. I got my peanut butter and jelly. Nope, I'm going to get out the car today. It's okay. I'm going to talk to those people. Little Emily will be okay. Yeah, I'm the teacher. I got to go in there and do all that shit. And I had to talk myself up every single day to actually do that. I hate public speaking, but I do love talking. I find it easy, storytelling. So, yes, the mayor is the one that couldn't set the clock back. That's actually also true. They did decide that they're going to go get a new clock because they couldn't, or they didn't want to figure out how to set the clock that was in there. They know how. They just had to open it up and they didn't want to put in the time. So they're going to go buy a new clock. Go taxpayer money. Anyway, um, so I do my spiel. I introduce myself. I'm working the room. There's so many council members. I don't know. I think there was like 4 on each side, 8 plus the 2 right there. There were 10 total members, if I'm not mistaken. Olddawg's nodding his head yes, so I think there was 10. My ideas always work sometimes. Anyway, so I'm sitting there listening to the 10 talk, and I'm watching them. Actually, I was talking, sorry. I was watching them as I was doing my talking. I wanted to make sure I worked the room. I wanted to make sure I had good positive body language, that they were like buying into what we were doing. And for the most part, there were only two people that were not necessarily into what I was saying. I mean, everybody else was like, yes, please, I'm ready. They're ready to make it rain up in here. And I'm like, yeah, Vegas. But there were 2 people. And I know 8 out of 10, that's 4 out of 5. And if you're a dentist, that's fucking good numbers, but I'm not a dentist. See, 4 out of 5 people means that there are 2 people I need to figure out what's up their butt and help them get it better. But I noticed that one of them was a guy. He was a white guy, middle aged, probably about my age, maybe a little younger, about my age though. And I noticed he wasn't really angry at me. He wasn't really mad. He wasn't giving me an angry face. He's trying to be tough. Like he was showing me his nose hairs, like that was supposed to impress me or something. I don't know. But he was just, it was almost like, hey, I'm a council member. You know, you don't know what you're doing here, kind of thing. Like nothing major, but like he was trying to be tough. And the second person, I'm going to say something that is probably ageist. And I mean it. Yep, I'm going to say it right here on the channel. Thank God we're after hours, right? So if you're a little kid, plug your ears right now. Here you go. Ready? This lady, I bet you, makes some of the greatest cookies out there because she looked like the greatest grandma I'd ever seen. I bet you she made some killer cookies. Okay. But she was not eating anything that I was putting out. She was mad dogging me like a bulldog on a bone, and I was coming up on her porch, and it didn't matter that she was a 14-year-old bulldog. She was ready to tear me a new one, dude. She was straight faced, just. She didn't blink. She didn't wink. She didn't move, nudge, fart, like nothing. Those 2 people. At the end, actually, before we got to the end, I have to take a quick step back. I did my spiel very quick. You can ask Olddawg. I did my spiel very quick. I took very little time. I think I did maybe 3 minutes. 3 minutes. I was actually trying to time. And I just wanted to introduce myself. So I step back and I get back to my seat and I'm like, yeah. And truth be told, I wasn't feeling good. And I don't just mean because I was nervous about speaking. I was actually excited for that the whole weekend. I was ready. I had this prepared speech. I knew what I was going to get into, but I wasn't feeling good. Olddawg and I, we went to this restaurant. We wanted some fish, right? And we both kind of really like fish. The rest of the family, they're not big fish fans. So when we're by ourselves, we're like, yeah, let's go get some fish. Now my wife does like fish, kind of. She likes Long John Silver's. It's not quite fish, but she likes the version of fish, right? And there was this place that kind of reminded me of Long John Silver's, not far from the bar. And I was like, perfect. My wife is going to love this. Not quite Long John Silver's, but it's like it. It'll be good. So I wanted to go test it out for my wife. I wanted to be that hero, you know, I'd be able to see my wife and go, honey, I got great news. We got fish and we got chicken, we got hush puppies and good coleslaw and all those things you really like. But I didn't feel good after eating that food. And here's the weird thing, like you guys probably all know when like you eat something, it usually takes a good couple of hours for it to really affect your system. And that's literally science and medicine. It tells you it takes you that long to get through your track, right? I'm not making that up. But this hit me quick. Quick. But there's a big problem why. Okay. For those of you that don't know me, I do keto and fasting. Well, keto means that I do almost no carbs. And all of a sudden, I just had fish. Well, the oil doesn't necessarily bother me, but the bread does. Well, I don't want to get gross, but let's just say my stomach was turning. It wasn't prepared for it. And I was sitting in the meeting and I was nervous. And that nervous mixed with that unfortunate incident of having bread when not eating for a while. And my body was like, nah, dude, this gotta go. And so I sat an hour and a half as uncomfortable as I could be. I was complaining to Olddawg every chance I got. I was like, dude, my stomach is killing me. I felt like I was gonna hurl. And I could feel that they were getting closer to me talking. And I'm like, just swallow it. We're gonna get through this. We'll be all right. Only a couple more minutes. And then they happened to say what they did, and I jumped up and I was ready to go and I did my thing for 3 minutes. I felt great and I sat back down and I was like, God, I'm gonna die. I was ready to throw up so bad when I sat back down. I didn't. I didn't. Instead, they mentioned something else, and when they did, they made a mistake, and they didn't know they did it at the time, but they definitely do now. What mistake did they make? They looked at me and asked me my opinion. Yeah. So I gave it to them. But the problem is they asked me about something that I was very passionate about. So I like stood up out of my seat and I started inching closer. And I'm like, hey, yeah, I'm sorry, I don't mean to address. Like I was literally I was like pouncing. I was like ready to go. I was like, yes, I got them. And sure enough, I start talking again, and I'm working the room, and I'm looking at everybody, and I'm like, yes, I got this, except for two different people. I got my big dog over here that's just like, still making that strong face for me. Good. That's all right though. He's twitching. I know I got him. I know he's ready. He's still hearing what I'm saying, and I know I've interested him because I've read his body language enough. I just know he's trying to be tough. My bulldog though, oh, she still ain't budged. I don't even think she's breathing anymore. She doesn't move. She doesn't like me. I swear she makes great cookies. I promise you, she makes great cookies. End of the meeting. Now, here's the interesting thing. We get to the end of the meeting. Four people of the councilmen start coming over to us. I was getting ready to leave. I told you I was not feeling good, dude. When they said, anyone want to take a motion to adjourn, I'm like, yeah, I do. Anyone want a second? I'm like, I do. I'm not in there. I couldn't do anything. So I'm like, let's hurry this up. They adjourn. I'm like, hey, everyone have a great day. And four people walking to me, and I went, right after this. And I stopped and I talked to four people. Now, the first person walks up, he's a councilman. He actually has a restaurant in Greenville. Now, Greenville, Ohio is about 20 minutes away from us right now. You'd say it's probably the closest town. There are a couple others that are closer, but they're more like villages, little small ones. This one's an actual like city, town. And the fact that he owns a pizza shop, he came over to me and was just like, dude, let me help you. What do you got going on so far? We can't wait for you to open this. And I'm like, aren't you technically competition? And I didn't say it out loud, but I was like, I mean, technically, I know we're far away from each other, but cool. He starts talking to me. He's like, hey, who do you got for vendors? Do you need some more vendors? I'm like, yeah, I need a bunch of people reaching into my pocket trying to take money. Please give me some more. I need all of them I can get. So of course I took down all his vendors. And he was offering some great tips. He's like, man, if you want, I'll come in, I'll walk through this. We can talk about this. It was a great conversation. Long story short. We talked to him for Olddawg and I. We talked to him for like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. And I got three people, no joke, waiting on me while I'm talking to this guy. There's three councilmen just sitting there still waiting. And I can feel them waiting. And I'm like, okay, I like you, dude, but I got to talk to these people too. So I did that one thing that, like, I consider good leaders do. I simply sidestepped it and let Olddawg finish the conversation. So Olddawg starts talking to this guy, and they hit it off great. Like they were having some of these back and forth old people jokes that no one got but those two. And so they were just sitting there talking. It just got flipped off for those that can't see. Uh, but no, they're sitting there. They're having a good time. They're talking about Ohio. They're talking about the Navy. They're talking about just where they're from. They're talking about they're making fun of all the young people. Like literally, they're doing like the only thing I didn't hear was "get off my lawn," and I think that was because they started talking a little. But they're sitting there, they're chit chatting. I talked to the other three. First one that's in there, the second one I should say, first of the three, right? Second one there, first of the three, big old big top dog. You know the one I was talking about, the one that was like, let me show you my nose hairs, like it means something. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there is a bird in a bar. It just went by. It was weird. So, I look at him and I don't even let him speak yet. I didn't even let him speak. I put my hand out and said, I go, hey, don't worry, man. I got the Big 12 package up on the screen, so I got all your college sports, including football. And if you're nice, I'll even put a Cincinnati game up on the big screen. Dude goes, all right, that's all I'm asking. And I started laughing. We all did. Like the four of us that were standing over, we start chuckling. We're like, oh, that's funny. I said, and as I'm shaking his hand, I'm just about ready to let go. And I said, and I got one more thing for you. And he stops the shake and he gets all serious for a moment. He goes, and I look at him and I go, and I'm bringing some fucking chicken wings with me. Dude was excited as could be. He's like, all right, I'm in. He goes, I'll be there as soon as you open. Let me know when. His wife is on the council. She's talking to me. She's right next to him. Now, one of the funny things I have to tell you about this. So the two of them are sitting right on the council side. That's my left side, your right side, depending on how you're looking at it right now. They're sitting right next to each other, and they started talking about the four council members. That story's coming. Avarice and Olddawg, it's coming. Just wait. Just wait. I'm gonna get to it. So the mayor looks over at the wife that I'm now talking to, but he looks over at the wife during the meeting and is like, you know, if you wanted to come back next year, I'd love to have you on here. And I love this lady so much because she goes, I'm thinking about it, but I need a request in seating. I don't want to be by him anymore. And points to the husband in the middle of a town hall meeting. I was like, yes. And I started rolling for the third time in a town hall meeting. Still don't think I was supposed to. But I laughed more in that meeting. There was a good 4, 5, 6 times I was just laughing out loud in that meeting. So anyway, get back to the conversation. I'm talking to her after the whole meeting, and she's asking me for common things I've been hearing all for like the last week. You got to bring in some fryers. You got to bring in some stuff for kids, and like you're gonna love basketball season because everybody wants. We brought like 12 people after a basketball game, and no one has served us food. And I'm like, you want to give me money? I want to take money, and we have a great relationship. And so I'm just making them laugh. It was a good time. I never got to talk to my bulldog. That's right. I failed my mission yesterday. Guys, I'd let you down. 9 out of 5. And that sounds like really good odds. 9 out of 5 is damn good. And if I was in the dental industry, dude, I'd be doing better than that last dentist. But I got to figure out that bulldog. I got to get her to crack a smile just once. I thought I was close. And the reason why I got close is because I was telling him, I got all serious on him. And I said, I just want to let you guys know that there is something a little crazy about us, but I wanted to be upfront so that way it wasn't a surprise. And everybody kind of like looking when I was like, we're going to sit out in front of our bar and wave at people. See, my old dog, he's from the Navy, so he likes the waves. But me, I'm just weird, so I like waving at people, saying hi and smiling. And I got everyone at the table to smile, and I thought she was close. I did. I thought that bulldog was close. I was like, I finally warmed the heart. I was almost, yeah. No, she didn't smile. She didn't crack a smile. She didn't blink at me. She didn't wink. She didn't move her eyebrows. Maybe she has Botox. Maybe she can't move her face, and that's why it is. I'm going to take that for now. Point is, I'm going to work on that bulldog. Now, on the bright side, check this news out. Turns out at that meeting, I found out that the town has made a whole bunch of benches. And they spent a ton of money on these benches, and they have a bunch of them just lying around. I asked for one. I'm getting one put out in front of the bar for free. Yeah, and it actually has like, it has Pittsburgh like right on the bench and things like that. Cool, free stuff. Who doesn't like free stuff? And I'm promoting the town already. Dude, win-win. That was easy. That was easy. So that was the town hall meeting. Overly, everyone seems excited that we're coming in. Um, there's really not been too many bad things that have been said. I did meet the town newspaper, and I don't mean that as in the newspaper that's written around the town, although that is technically true. I mean, I met the one woman that likes to run her mouth around the entire town, apparently. And if she's watching this right now, thanks for finding me. How did you do that? Because you have no idea who I am. But other than that, yeah, it turns out she admitted this, so I don't really think I'd be offending her by saying this, but like she stopped with her husband and she was talking to me, hey, what do you guys have planned? And we are talking to her about all that. And then all of a sudden she was just like, yeah, everybody calls me all the time because I live so close and everybody just wants to know what's going on. So I just wanted to ask you some questions. Like she was right, just abundantly clear that she is the town gossip. So but oddly enough, can I tell you this? Two things. One, she works at the newspaper apparently, and two, she's the town hairdresser. I mean, okay, I hate to stereotype just slightly on this one, but hairdressing is where a lot of rumors get, and that's where it goes. Look, I'm just saying, it's the truth. It's just like a barbershop. That's what you go in there for. Have a good time. Just saying. All right. What did we get done today? Now that we got the recap, we told you about yesterday, let's get into what we did today. So, here we go. A couple things that we really had to work on still. Okay. First and the hardest part right now is my PCI compliance. For those of you that don't know, PCI compliance is for credit card transactions. It's to make sure that you're doing everything you can to keep all credit cards safe. Here's the ironic part. I literally teach, or let me rephrase, back up. I taught kids how to do PCI compliance for computer science for 10 years. Before that, I worked in several companies in PCI compliance, and I taught their employees how to do them. And now going through it, I find it annoying as hell. Here's why. Previous owner bought a system called Spot On. That's our POS, our point of sale system. And right now, I can say I've rather enjoyed it. I've been learning more and more about it. Seems pretty easy. Seems like I'm going to screw some things up, but for the most part, I'll get through it. Well, when the new owners or the original owners had bought that and they put it in, it came with a bunch of information like how to install and what to do and answers to questions. And then they did what everyone else does, and that's throw away all the documentation. Which, for those of you not in the computer science field, after we determine that there is without a doubt a problem, and we've been able to reproduce that problem, the first step we do is check the manual on how to fix it. So when you throw those manuals away, you literally cause our jobs to become longer, harder, and you usually more money. Stop breaking the law, asshole! Or stop throwing away the manual. One of the two. Pick one. I don't care which. Yeah, now, they threw it away. I have questions I need to answer about PCI compliance that I literally cannot answer because they're not things that I can teach you. They are out the system itself. And guess what? There's not a POS out there that's going to tell you exactly what their system uses, because if they did that publicly, they would be hacked all the time. So I have to call them. This is the part where I normally have a manager, and I have my manager call. Why? Because I don't want to call. I don't want to deal with the phone call, the headache, getting transferred 800 times to not get an answer, to have to call back 801 times to still not have the answer. And guess what? That's pretty much what's happened. In fact, I've called several times over the last few days and week that I keep getting transferred, even though I tell them, please don't transfer me. They're gonna send me right back to you because I need question answer from you. And then Spot On sends me to the PCI people, and the PCI people go, we don't know that answer. And I went, I know, I told them. And I have to call them back. And that's what I've been doing. Well, we got a little closer. Turns out I finally got a person that would not transfer me. He finally listened to me and got a hold of the actual PCI compliance within the company of Spot On. The problem was is those are higher tech people, and that means that they're working on a lot of other bullshit and a lot of other people's problems at the same time. So I'm on a very long list. Fine. So here's what I did. I went through the questions that were on the PCI compliance, and I told the person exactly what we needed to do. And yes, if I had a group call, this shit would be over in like 10 minutes. But of course they won't group call with each other. Like, they're helping each other out. They are literally third-party partners, and they will not group call with each other. I'm like, just stay on the line. We'll get this all done. Nope. Okay, no problem. Have a great day. And you'll be happy to know I haven't lost my temper on anybody since I bought this bar. I've actually been, I think, a lot more calm. Which brings me to the biggest part of today. I was talking with Olddawg, and I was reflecting. And I had said something that kind of confused him, but he almost kind of expected. I told him I don't think it's hit me that I own a bar yet. And let me explain. My account is much less because I bought a bar, so I know I bought one. I have a lawyer that said I bought one. I have documents that say I bought one. I have all proof that I've bought a bar. It doesn't feel like it. And I was truthful with that today. And I was trying to figure out the why. This has been my dream for so long. Why am I not enjoying it the way I thought I would? And I don't want to get any false hope or false information. Like, I'm highly enjoying my new job. I love it. I really get to do whatever I want. But something's not right. It still doesn't feel right. Now, there is one more thing that I have to do in order to get the previous owners, for the most part, out of my life, and that's not just pay them, but actually, it is pay them. There was a small issue last week for those of you that have been following the channel. The very first beer order that I put on, the beer company messed up, charged the original owner, not myself. I say the beer company did that. I usually don't put blame on anybody, but I literally could not stop that. I had no control over that. I gave them my information. They told me my information was on file. I said, are you sure? They said, yes. I said, great, here's the order. We placed the order. They charged the other people. No control. So I don't want to blame anyone, but that's fine. I got to talk to the previous owner. Bad news. The beer company calls me up and says, hey, you're going to have to settle up with the previous owner because the person that's going to handle all the accounts is out for another week due to vacation. No problem. And to be truthful, I was actually happy, not because I had to deal with it or anything like that, or I had to fake it. That's really not that big of a deal. I didn't really care. I owed the person $143 for a beer order. It's not that bad. That's the smallest bill I've had yet. Um, so I called up the person. I called up the previous owner. I was like, "Hey, how do you want me to settle up? I'll meet you up. I'll pay you cash right now." They're like, "Nah, don't do that. Send me a check." I had to pause right there because for those of you that don't know, I don't know when you're watching this video, but right now today it's 11/11. It's Veterans Day. Do you know how hard it is to mail a check on Veterans Day? First, I had to go get an envelope. Yep, I bought a business that had zero envelopes in it. All right, that's fine. Whatever. I'll go buy some. So I go to Walmart. Walmart has made it where you can't buy small amount of envelopes. No. They didn't have one small box of envelopes in that entire place. I bought 300 of them. I needed one, and I now have 299 more envelopes. Also, while we're talking about envelopes, I don't know when this happened. Why can we not lick our own envelopes anymore? Is that a bad thing? I used to love the taste of that licky self stick stuff. I was just like, yeah, man, I used to love that stuff. But apparently now everything is stick and or peel and stick or whatever they call it now. You just peel it off of the sticky stuff that you used to lick and it just right there. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. After I peeled it off, still tastes the same. Wanted to make sure. Now you know. Um, but I went and got the envelope. You know what they didn't have there though? A stamp. You know where they sell stamps? Post office. You know what's closed on Veterans Day? So tomorrow, I get to wake up and walk to the post office, which isn't very far. Should be a nice brisk walk, and drop a letter in the mail after I buy a stamp and send it when I could have had it done already. And then, for the most part, the previous owners are out of my hair. I don't really need to talk to them too much anymore. They're just going to want their monthly payment and they won't care about anything else. So I'm almost done with that. I think once I finally get them out of my hair, that will contribute to me feeling more like this is my bar. But that wasn't the only problem. Or I should say, that isn't the only problem. That's actually a great question. Is the post office open with the government shutdowns? And I don't know if our village doesn't believe in government shutdowns or exactly how it works, but they had a town hall meeting, and yeah, their post offices are still open and working. I don't know how that works. Maybe the post office is still considered, what do they call it? Like mandatory or important. I forget the word that they use for it now. But like you you need your job, or like you have to run. I think they are considered one of those, and maybe that's why they run. Other than that, all I can say is that this village doesn't believe in government shutdowns. I don't know, and they're very Republican, by the way. Let's make that very clear. This town is very Republican. I think they had guns at the town hall meeting. Funny enough, beside the point. In Vegas, we had guns at all the town hall meetings too, but for a much different reason. Uh, so getting back to why I don't feel like this is my bar. It dawned on me during the reflection while talking with Olddawg that there's something I've been doing that I think is highly contributing to my problem. Everyone keeps asking me, hey, what are you going to do when you open? When are you open? And what are you going to do? And it's really those two questions back to back. And I keep telling everyone that I'm just trying to get open. I'm not trying to make any changes. I just want to get open. I want to be able to see it work. I want to be able to see what we need to change. I don't want to just come in with a bunch of ideas and then it doesn't work, see previous owners. And I think that's what's absolutely eating away at me. I don't think it's my bar because I haven't changed anything. I haven't made it mine. I haven't put my name on it. In fact, I have to get real with you guys. One of my dreams was to own a bar called The Porch. I've been thinking about that name for a long time. And The Porch means a lot to me. It's where I do most of my reflection. And for those of you that don't know me, let me explain to you how the porch works, or how it works. The porch is designed for you to sit right outside your house on whatever you really want. But me, I like to sit on a rocking chair or a swing, enjoy the outside nature. It helps me kind of get back to it. But then you sit out there with people that you love, that you trust, and you just discuss the world. No topic is off limits. Because on the porch, it's not about family, it's not about friends, it's about learning. It's about what the hell is out there. And you need a place to be able to discuss those things, the hard stuff. And that's always what the porch was to me. As I get closer to the porch being a reality, I'm not so sure the idea works. This is kind of hard for me because it's pretty much who I believe I am. And to say it doesn't work is really kind of hard, a struggle. Um, I think it's just the concept. I think we've gotten to a point in this world that it's hard to really express yourself freely. And I know this channel is not about politics or anything like that. It's about being in a bar, but I'm gonna slowly dip into politics just for a moment, um, so I can give you the example of what I mean, and then I'll dip my toe right back out. But we've gotten to a point in this world that if you're a middle-aged white guy, you're racist and you're part of the problem. And that's how I'm looked at now, which is kind of interesting. And so when I try to talk about things like that, something that is so serious, that is tearing apart our country and dividing it, you have to be careful. Because if you talk to the wrong people in the wrong way, it starts a lot of problems. See the government shut down and many other things that it's been caused from it. The government shutdown is not my concern. I don't really care. I do care about my family shutdown. And in my family, the porch, I had simple rules, or at least what I thought was simple. Not easy to follow, but they were simple rules. When you're on the porch, it's not family, it's not friends, it's just the porch. When you walk inside, you remember that you're family. It's all love. It doesn't matter that you disagreed with each other, you discussed it and you moved on. I wanted that when I moved to a new community and when I made my new bar, I wanted it to be the porch because I wanted it to be a place that everyone felt welcomed. You could talk about what you needed to. It didn't matter what it was. If you were a veteran going through stuff, you would have that place that you could talk. If you were a kid that was feeling lost in school, you had a place that you could go to. If you were an adult that was lost, you had a place that you could go to. But it's hard to keep that rule in place of not letting it affect every part of your life. When you start seeing people talk their true selves, and sometimes you agree with them and sometimes you disagree with them, it's just, it can be hard to deal with and hard to compartmentalize and separate. It's because of all my reflections that I'm starting to see that the porch idea, it may not work. which is, I think, the problem that I have is because the porch is almost like just, it's almost another word for family. Family isn't quite the same either. What we had in the past, and past as far as 60 years ago, 30 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, and even a year ago, family has always changed. I remember growing up, family meant nothing. And so I wanted to make sure that family meant a lot to my kids and to my family and to my wife and to everyone around me. And as I kept pushing what family truly meant, it took me a long time to learn that perspective is a bitch. I thought I had learned that a while ago, but I guess when it came to family, I might have missed that lesson. I love everyone in my family dearly, and I can tell you that pretty much no one in my family sees family the way I do. And that's okay. I've come to the conclusion that whether the porch can or cannot work, all I can do is continue to be who I am, be open minded to change should I need it, and love in the current moment. I'm trying to live my life at this point, no longer working my way towards death, but more just enjoying the ride along the way. I would much rather spend my days focusing on being with my family and at least showing them how much I or they mean to me. And maybe it's not the same to them. That's okay. I'm doing it for me and who I am. If they pick up things along the way, that's great. But I believe in my wife and myself and the teachings that we've given our family, and I think they're all going to be great people. I think they're going to do great things, make a shitload of mistakes like we all do, but they'll all find their way. And I know that was really long, but that's the thing I'm struggling with right now. The bar's not even mine. And it's been weird to deal with today because that's been a big revelation for me. I actually kind of felt better once I said it out loud that it really wasn't mine yet and that I had acknowledged it. So, again, Olddawg thought I was a little bit crazy. He also chalks it up to the fact that, well, we're not really open yet. And he does believe that once we open, I'll probably feel a whole lot better. And I believe he is accurate on that. I am very eager to open. But honestly, let me put my damn fryers in here and it feel like my bar. All right. I love it. So, what else have we done today? We have had some small issue with the Everpass. Everpass is what we're using for all our sports packages. I say small issue. We only had to submit something to them. We're just waiting for that to be verified. No big deal. So it's taking a small delay, a couple days. Other than that, that's the only small issue. It should be done here very soon. I'm hoping. Great news. One of the vendors I've been actually trying to reach out to, Cisco, I hadn't got their salesperson information yet, but they stopped by today at the bar. They left me their card. I've already talked to them. We got a meeting with Cisco on Thursday. That's fantastic news. Coming up tomorrow, we actually have a meeting with somebody. Who are we meeting with? I wrote it down, but the paper's not in front of me. Not the right paper, sorry. I am meeting with someone tomorrow. Hold up. I would make you guys talk to Olddawg, but I won't. Give me just a moment. I bet you guys are wondering who we're meeting with tomorrow. So am I. I thought the paper was right over there. Turns out it wasn't. So, anyway, we are meeting with someone tomorrow at noon, and I told you I have it written down. It's on my daily paper. I will tell you who it is here in a few minutes. I'll remember it, I promise. But that's pretty much the only meeting I got. Other than that, I know, right? Um, no, it's in there. Old dog's talking to me. Yeah, it's should be plugged in, charged. What else do we got going on? Oh, actually, I did talk today. I talked with our entertainment guy, and I wanted to make sure that our speakers are getting set up properly, our jukebox is going. I really made him excited when I was talking to him about the pool table, and I said, "Hey, I think I'm ready to go for a pool table." I wasn't. I did a small fib. And the only reason why I did a small fib is hear me out. Previously, they told me that it takes them about a month to get them a pool table. So I was like, okay, let me start putting up an order. Here's the type of colors I'm looking for, size, things like that. All of a sudden, this guy's like, all right, I'll get your pool table in about 2 days. And I went, whoa, that was a lot quicker than a month. It's going to take me a little longer to move those tables. So it turns out I'm going to get the pool tables and dartboards a lot sooner than I thought. I did tell him to put it on hold because I didn't want it right now. Last thing I needed to do is have the health inspection on Thursday. That would be a pain in my ass. I definitely don't want that problem. I'm still trying to remember who I'm meeting with on Wednesday. It's one of my vendors. It's written down. Anyway, so we have that taken care of. I did do a little bit more work on the pizzas that we're actually serving, and one of the things I noticed, part of my reflection, by the way, of that I'm not making changes yet. We are going to be making a few changes. A little bit, yeah. It is a little bit of a maze. We are going to make a couple of changes, nothing too major, like the size of our pizzas. Turns out the pizza sizes they're currently using are 10 and 14 inches. I don't know where they got those from or any particular reason why. And I'm not saying any of that is bad. I don't really know nor care. Here's what we're going to do 12, 14, 16. Yep. I've decided that I want to do three sizes. Oh, by the way, Avarice, great news. We're doing three sizes of pizza. Congratulations. Now that we've discussed that, Average just said, "Yay, news!" Plate sizes. Okay, well, we'll get to the plate sizes. Um, but we do, for the most part, have what we need to serve 12, 14, and 16. Why the change in pizza size? Mainly, it's the crust. The pizza crust that I'm currently buying from, I want to use a lard crust. I want a lard crust because of the way it crisps up when it actually is going through compared to an oil. Okay, just the truth. If you've never tried it, I recommend that you try the two different styles. You'll see the difference. It's major. Well, the problem with the lard crust is two things. One, the crust is a little bit thicker, and two, they do not have a 10-inch size, which was a thin crust in what was being served here originally. Well, if they don't offer a 10-inch, there's nothing I can do about that. Okay, so we moved to the next size that was available, and that was 12. I don't move down. I don't want less food. I want more food. So we are going 12, 14, and 16. Now, good news, we have one 16-inch pizza pan. So as long as we only have one 16-inch pizza ordered at a time, we'll be fine. I've got some more on order. I figured that'd probably be the smarter way to handle that. Anyway, sauce. Glad you mentioned. Right now, I'm buying sauce, which actually kind of sent a shiver down my spine that I said that. But talking to the very original owners in a place called PPG, Pittsburgh Pizza and Grill, before the owners that I bought this from, they had a really good pizza. And everyone in the town has told us, man, you got to bring back that pizza. It was so good. It's the greatest stuff ever. And I am able to talk to those. I actually have an update for you. But I'm able to talk to those original owners, and one of the things I found out is that the pizza sauce that we currently have that's in a can. Hold up, I threw up a little in my mouth right there and getting it back down. The pizza sauce that we currently have in a can is one of the best, is what they've told us. And I'm like, I'm the tallest midget in this wrestling corporation. Doesn't really mention much. But so we do have a good sauce according to the original owners. We're gonna make real sauce though as soon as I get the chance. And yes, I mean actually make it. Like I'm gonna put it in a slow cooker, and that shit is gonna. Oh man, it's gonna be good. Well, that's true. I'm not gonna do it. James is gonna do it. Back it up. Anyway, someone's gonna do it. I don't. So we do. We do. Sorry. We do have some sauces. As far as dipping, we don't even have breadsticks yet, which I'm actually fixing. I'm working on that. But I also like a marinara that's a little bit thicker. So yay for staff. Um, so we will have actually a good marinara sauce, but chances are I'm gonna probably make that as well. Go tomatoes. We did visit another vendor today, Restaurant Depot. They have quite a bit of selection. Their prices aren't too bad. The most impressive thing I saw there was they literally, it had to have been a football field of cheese. They had so many different types of cheese, and it went down like a warehouse aisle. And you could get it in shredded, block, cubed, diced, sliced. I don't. They had a turtle in the back just making up cheese. I guess I don't know, but it was really kind of cool. That was fun to see. They had actual real meat in there, not frozen. That's what I mean by real meat, not frozen. I hate frozen food, and everywhere I go right now, all I'm looking at is at frozen chicken wings, frozen hamburger patties. Tomorrow, Olddawg and I, we're gonna take a slight time off from the bar. We're actually gonna go out and visit some local apartments, not for us, but for the family because they're trying to move down here. So we're gonna go take a look at some apartments, see how they are for them, give them some feedback. And then we're also going to see what we can do about checking out another vendor, walk in and check out prices because I'm getting to the point I want to make changes. Easy ones like, dude, give me some potatoes. Let's make some French fries. I was talking to Avarice earlier today. We were measuring French fries. Like, how do we want to do this? Which reminds me, Avarice. So here's what I'm thinking. If we take the salad prep station and we move that up against the, I'm thinking, what is that? That's the east wall. North is that way, right? Yeah, so that'd be east wall. Yeah, so if we take that salad bar prep, put it up against the east wall, take that table you were talking about, putting the oven on, we're gonna move that over to the corner, but instead of putting it underneath, we're gonna put it on top. The actual fryers fit right where the oven is. Like no joke, fits right in. And then I think that would give us everything we need until we get the combo oven. For everybody else that just listened to that, good luck cracking that code. I don't even know what the hell I just said. Good luck. Yeah. No, but yeah, so that happened. Anyway, Avarice will get that. We've been talking about how we want to move around the kitchen. The problem is I don't want to move around the kitchen until Thursday. That's when the health inspection comes in, and I just want to pass the health inspection. Everything gets past that, dude, I'll move everything around. I don't care. But I just want to get past the health inspection. Well, why not move things? They just showed up. The health inspection just came through like a month ago, and they passed everything. Why would I move it? All I've done is clean. And that should mean we definitely pass, right? There's one problem. I'm slightly worried about the health inspection, but it's not for the reason you think. I'm going to let you in on something, and I need you to do me a favor. Don't tell anybody I'm telling you guys this, all right? So if you're watching this well after 11/11/2025, shut up, dude. That was old. Anyway, turns out that the previous cooks in this place and owners, they didn't know what cleaning meant. I don't even think they could spell the word. And when I say they didn't know what cleaning meant, you should have seen their pizza oven.
No, you
I
shouldn't
mean,
have.
before they used it, because we see where it should be. It wasn't there. There was this charcoal brick thing that was just filled. It was like a container of the dirtiest, oldest cheese that was burnt and just left there for years. It was disgusting. Was. See, the reason, or one of the reasons, that makes it we are going to succeed in this place where the previous owners failed. I have something they don't. A great fucking staff. See, Olddawg's been busting his ass in here trying to make sure that our pizza oven actually works. Don't get me wrong. I didn't just make him do it himself. I did just I cheered him on while he was doing it. All right. No, I cleaned a little bit of it. I cleaned a little bit on the inside. I vacuumed it out. I made sure that we got all those charcoal pieces out of that. That was great. He's been working on the grate in the actual pizza conveyor oven so we can actually put it on there. Like, do you imagine getting a pizza out of an oven that has had like 2 years of just burnt on cheese and toppings and everything, and it was just left on the conveyor belt? Like, you couldn't even see what it was anymore. It was just burnt ash of something. That's what was in this thing, and it was just filled. We've got that clean. Olddawg has finished cleaning up pretty much the conveyor belt. He finished cleaning up the heat vents that help disperse all the flame through it. Um, so why am I worried? Because it might work now. And when the health inspector comes through, if they tell me that I need to clean something, I might lose my fucking mind. How did you, the same health inspector, walk in this place and give it a passing grade and a month later tell me I need to clean something?
Y'all gonna make me lose my mind.
I'm a little afraid for Thursday. And I know you're laughing at me, dude. You guys are laughing at me right now. Like, that cat is crazy. Dude, you don't understand. It took like 20 minutes for the pizza to get out of the pizza oven before. I think it's because it had to work through all that hardness to just push that conveyor belt. That now we're going to get pizza in like 7 minutes. I'm just saying. All right. That wasn't even the quote unquote best worst news so far. There's more. Yes, the pizza oven is clean. Yes, I'm working with Avarice and we are actually getting it changed into the grill, the fryers, the things we want. Yeah, all that stuff is great. Today, Mega City Stream Team, shout out to Mega City. Ba, 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 Mega City. I don't have my buttons. That's what I got for you. Anyway, shout out to Mega City because if you don't know who they are a fire safety company. They came out here today to our bar. They looked at three of our fire extinguishers after we actually finally found the third one. Uh, they looked at our suppression, our fire suppression, which, newsflash, turns out when you don't have the actual fire suppression chemical hooked up, it doesn't fucking work. Who knew, right? Yeah, previous owners literally disconnected the fire suppression system and we thought it was working. No wonder the pizza oven was burnt to a crisp. Anyway, Mega City came out and got that fixed for us. Suppression now works. We are now ready to rehook up our fryers. All of our fire extinguishers are not only charged, they're actually brand new. Well, they're not brand new, but they're all swapped. They've all been charged, checked, everything. One of them doesn't need to be checked till 2028. That's how good they are. Okay. So, Mega City, hats off to you. They gave me a large, expensive bill today. They charged me absolutely zero. I don't know if I'm getting a bill later, but they didn't collect any of my information, so I'm guessing I'm getting a very expensive bill later. Who knows? Here's the thing. It's worth the price. Why? Suppression systems rehooked back up, so if we do have a fire with all the fryers and the grill being right there, I'm not as worried. We got all three of our freaking fire extinguishers are actually taken care of, and since they were completely out of date, some of them by 2 years, how did that happen? How did that happen? Anyway, that's now taken care of. And third, the actual fire extinguisher in the kitchen, we are now able to, we have a, what's the word I'm looking for? A bracket for it, so we can actually put it on the wall like it needs to be. Another great thing. All of this pretty easy, and emailed the fire chief, or actually I texted the fire chief, told the fire chief what Mega City said. Fire chief sent over our occupancy and the fire inspection. We have passed those. Everything is good on the fire inspection. Yeah, hit the cheer button. Bloop, yeah. But there's more. Yeah. Whew. They are coming back to check the fryers. That is absolutely true. Now, I got to take you back to Sunday. Yeah. This piece of news right here is good news. At least I think it is, but at the same time it's sad news. So let me tell you how it worked. Sunday, as we were on our way back to the bar, you guys remember that whole thing? If you don't rewind back, what was it, about an hour and a half ago? I told the whole story. So be sure to rewind back, find out what happened over the weekend. But now that you're caught back up, I'll wait. Dude, am I right? Welcome back. That's crazy what just happened. Am I right? Anyway, now that you're caught up, while we were driving here, I got a text message from my lead bartender. My lead bartender said, "Hey, I just wanted to let you know I got a job opportunity on Monday." And I was like, "I thought you had a job opportunity with me, but that's cool. Whatever. No skin on my back. I get it. We're not open. You're a single mom, need money. I get it. In fact, just need money. Doesn't even matter you're a single mom. You could be a married mom, still need money. I get it. Point is, we weren't open. Looking for another job, no problem. Now, this is both a good and a bad thing. I'm gonna take a chance on this. I never talk, or let me, I try not to talk bad about anybody. So, if that person happens to be watching this and they feel that I am bad mouthing them in any way, please come talk to me. Otherwise, whatever. My lead bartender that I had, when you call me up and tell me that you've got a job opportunity, that doesn't necessarily bother me. What bothered me the most is when you treated me like a bridesmaid. So when I followed up and was like, "So does this mean you're not working with us?" Your response is, "Well, it depends on how it goes with the other company." No, it doesn't. No, actually, it doesn't at all. It depends if I want to hire you. And I don't understand why I would want to hire you if you don't want to be here. Now, I understand that I said that this was a good thing and a bad thing. So let me explain a little bit more detail. This lead bartender, from what I understand, has quite a bit of a following. The people that come into Tin Roof Tavern, at least some of the people that come in, a lot of the patrons, will follow the bartender. And I think that's great. I do. And any if the patrons happen to see this, hope you continue to still come in. I really do. But that lead bartender has had a few things that were told to me from the previous owner, and I don't know how much of them are true, and I try not to read too much into them. But unfortunately, some of the things that were told to me seems to be leading down the same road that we're currently on. So why is it good news, bad news that I'm potentially losing a bartender that's going to take some potential patrons with them? Because the position that they applied for is a better fit. They applied for another bartending job. So how is it a better fit? I'm an asshole. And quite frankly, my nickname around most of the family is Jackass, and it's that way for a reason. I have high expectations, especially of my family and what we need and can accomplish. But I also know it requires a lot of hard work. And when I work with other people, and you can ask my previous students, and there are plenty of them here that are watching, I expect a lot from them too. Their very best, and nothing less. And unfortunately, I think my lead bartender knew I wasn't going to let her get away with some stuff. And I strongly feel that that's why she applied for another job. And I have no disrespect for that. Good on her. Doesn't mean I have to accept you back. So, to my lead bartender, who I haven't heard from since Sunday, by the way, I'm presuming you got the job. And in which case, I wish you the absolute best. I hope it's everything you truly want and need. For me, previous patrons that followed the bartender, I hope you still come in. Everybody else, that's all right. I've got another bartender in place. I've got two on the way, a third that's going to flare. I'm doing okay. In the long scheme of things, by the lead bartender leaving, I think it actually keeps our relationship more positive than negative. I don't have to let you go. I don't have to yell at you for cleaning up stuff. I don't have to yell at you for doing anything, right or wrong. I can just enjoy knowing who you are. So it's a win. Again, I wish you the absolute best. Hope it works out. And I hope you come see us. Family, for you, dude, hurry up and get the hell down here. I got work to do. Can't do all this on my own, man. Oh, I'm tired already. All right, one more thing. I know I keep saying that. It just keeps coming. I told you, that's a welcome to a bar. It just keeps coming. I was told several times last week when I first met the staff that if the bartender goes, the lead cook goes. I haven't heard from my lead cook in a few days. Oddly enough, Sunday, about 30 minutes after I heard from my lead bartender. However, I do want to share some information about my lead cook. Not specifically about them, but about a conversation we had. Give me a moment as I bring up some documents, historical documents, if you would. Wait right there. If I had my board, this is where I'd put on some really crappy elevator music. Please hold. Okay. Now, here's the bad news. As I was bringing up the historical documents just now, something very important came to my realization. I changed phones just yesterday. All those previous conversations, they're on my old phone in another room. I'm not going to go get it. Here, I'm going to sum things up. I sent a message to my entire staff and I said, hey, just wanted to let you go, let you all know this is how it's going to work. My brother is going to be the back of the house manager. My wife is the front of the house manager. Here's all the positions. Here are the hours. Blah, 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 blah. Send a really long email. And my lead cook responded with this. You ready? One question. Give him props. One question. No hello, no good morning, no happy family day, none of that. Okay. Just one question. So your brother's going to be the kitchen manager? It was a good thing that I was on a road trip at that exact moment on the way on a 3 hour tour. Thank God we didn't get lost. Some of you are really missing these horrible jokes. Anyway, I had to calm down because if he would have been in front of me, I would have been like, dude, you didn't hear a word I said. Please leave. Get out from in front of me. And I would have said it a lot ruder at the time if it had been in front of me. So I was glad I was able to calm down and I sent him a message. I said, hey, first of all, my brother is always going to be the back of the house manager, even if you do become the kitchen manager, because he's the one who's going to run everything. He's going to make sure you do your damn job. I said it nicer, I think. But I kept on going. I said, well, quite frankly, I'm the current acting kitchen manager while my brother is not here to be the back of the house manager, which I'm using specific terminology for a reason. I'm trying to get this cat to understand the back of the house manager is above the kitchen manager. He runs everything. Waiters, waitresses, cooks, dishwashers, everything. He wants to be the lead cook, but he doesn't want to do any of the fucking work. And now I'm getting angry. Why? Because that starts to piss me off. You can't give me demands when you're not willing to do the job. You're leaving me to do the job. Hold up, Mr. Lead Cook Man. Let me remind you what you left my ass with. And yes, you were the lead cook for the last 3 months when you had no help from the previous owner. You also left me a dirty ass oven that you served pizza on that should have gotten your ass shut down. You don't have the certificates that you need to be a lead cook, and you still want more money. You get paid more than the average of the actual state of Ohio when it comes to cooks with less knowledge. You didn't clean underneath your absolute all of your equipment. You didn't label a fucking thing you put in the freezer, so I actually had to throw out $5,000 worth of a product. Cheese, pizza, sauce, and the toppings. It goes on. So the next time you want to come at me and tell me, hey, I want to be the kitchen manager, do the goddamn job and I'll pay you. Now, I'm going to calm down because I'm really not upset because you need to be taught. You've never been in this spot. Yes, you were left alone, but you weren't told what to do. And the unfortunate part for you is you didn't have the initiative to figure it out. And I don't fault you for that. I don't even hate you for that. I'm not even mad at you for that. I want to help you. So, lead cook, I hope you do see it. Because quite frankly, I hope you get off your high horse and I hope you realize you're not as good as you think you are. Because if you're willing to admit that, dude, I can make you famous. I can help you cook. I can train you to be a manager. I started by giving you one of the best back of the house managers out there. So I know you're in good hands. But if you don't want to do the work, no disrespect. Bye, Felicia. No hard feelings. I want to remind you, I've already got a cook on the way. And that's not even my brother, who is a much better chef than you are and has the background. My brother's on his way. I'm already here. I am certified. I've been cooking for a long time. And quite frankly, we're making the menu what I wanted anyway. So all I'm going to do is sit in my own kitchen and cook the food that I love to cook. I don't need you. But I do want to help you. So recognize it. Get rid of your attitude. And let's have a good fucking day. If you can't do that, good news, Avarice. I already got rid of your lead cook. And I've got you another one in place. We're moving forward. Now, I haven't heard from that cook in, like I said, since Sunday. And so after I sent them the message of what I pretty much said to you guys, I don't expect to hear back from him. And in fact, I've asked them to make sure that he comes in and brings me all of his information for his I-9 so I can actually pay him. And if he doesn't get it in by tomorrow, which I did kind of tell everyone, he ain't getting paid for the couple hours that he was here. That ain't my problem. I put in the time. I did it correctly in the system. I asked you to bring me what I need. There's only one thing missing, and it's you doing something. You gotta do the work, dude. Now, if that's too much, I'm a horrible boss. You guys can tell me, leave it in the comments. I get it. But here's the last thing I will warn everybody on. I don't want someone in my kitchen who is going to put my entire community at risk. I didn't say my name. I didn't say my pride. I didn't even say my family. I said my community at risk. If you serve contaminated food to anyone, how's that any different than poisoning them or loading a weapon? Even more so when you do it knowingly by not cleaning. You control that, dude. And that's not to my lead cook, so I'm very clear. That's to all of you. I know the cliche is old, but dude, if you can't stand the fire, get the hell out the kitchen. Let someone who has a passion for what they're doing back there be back there and being happy. And making sure people are happy and not sick. Do what you love. Come on now. All right. Enough of that. Enough of that. Tomorrow, going back to that, I told you guys, Olddawg and I were going to be checking out a couple of apartments. I'll give you guys some updates, see if we see anything that's really cool. We are also planning to go to a butcher or two. I want to start getting in some good hamburger meat. I want to get some good chicken wings. I don't want frozen. You guys heard me say that several times. I don't mean frozen fire sword. Frozen fire sword, I always want. He's always here. But I don't want frozen chicken wings. And I swear to God, if anyone right now follows me with the name of frozen chicken wings, dude, I'm gonna be sad. So no one does that. I don't want frozen chicken wings. Um, but everything else is working out. Yeah, we gotta get some fries and chicken like it's Popeyes up in here. Creating second account. Don't you dare, Avarice! Don't you dare! All right, what else do I got for you guys? Let's see. We talked about all the stuff we did over there. We talked about Mega City, how that's ready to go. We talked about Thursday, Wednesday. We got our appointment tomorrow. It's right there in the corner. I know it's right there. I'm trying to remember who we're talking with. No, it's one of my vendor. I don't think it's the pizza dude. I did talk to the pizza dude today. I gave him a check and everything. That's who we're talking to. Olddawg to the rescue all the fucking time. That's what I'm talking. So tomorrow we have a meeting with Coca-Cola. I can't believe I forgot. I told you I had it written down. Coca-Cola is coming in. We're actually trying to get two things. We either want a soda gun, which I think we can definitely get, but if we can't get a soda gun, then I want to get a fountain, like soda fountain, whatever they call those things. Pretty sure they're soda fountains. Um, but I also want to get a soda gun over in our back bar, which is actually outside. I think both of those are highly important. They'll give us to the next level. One of the reasons for that, if we can get the soda gun, at least with Coke or Pepsi products, which obviously we're making Coke, if we get that, then it frees up some of our coolers. I can now get glassware in here, frozen and frosted glassware. Which, by the way, all of my people, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all my social medias, we hear you. Oh my God, we hear you. There's literally, you guys are asking us to get rid of the plastic cups. I'm trying. All right. I have nowhere to put glassware right now. Nowhere. I'm trying. I can't believe they've even been serving out of plastic. I'm only doing it because literally we're just opening it back up. As soon as we do that, I'm getting rid of all that freaking plastic. One, it's a money pit. Two, no one likes to drink alcohol, beer, soda, really anything out of plastic, especially this flimsy stuff, right? It's horrible. Oh, making soda the old-fashioned way, stirring it. So if you mean like the carbonation, and the syrup actually coming together, yes, but not the old-fashioned way, like we're putting it together, like we're butter churning it and we're Dutch. What's what I'm why can't I think Amish? Like we're the Amish or anything. We're not doing that. We'd be using a machine. They mix it. They have the right calculations for it. I don't want to worry about all that. He does hate those cans. That's true. I do hate those cans and plastic cups. I do. So yeah, Coca-Cola tomorrow. That will be good. However, Volt 31 did it. Wait, what? They did? Volt 30. I gotta finish reading. Love the soda fountain, fresh made. It's so good. Volt 31. I'm making. Oh, I will look at it. I can't make any promises. I don't think we will be doing that in any way. So we'll see. Yeah. Be a soda jerk. That's Avarice. What else we got? What else we got going on? I think that's mainly it, right? I think that pretty much gets us through the day. It tells you what we got going on tomorrow. Two major things what we're doing tomorrow. I already told you we're gonna go check out the apartment. We got Coca-Cola we're gonna talk to. Um, and then later in the day, we have two of our employees. They're going to be coming in, and we're just going to clean from the front door to the back door, wipe everything down. We're going to dust, sweep, mop, get the tables, counters, in between. Like we're just going to make it where the health department comes in and says, "Dude, this is clean. We love you." Like that's our hope. Um, and honestly, I don't think it's going to take that long because for the most part, it's clean up in here. Everything's kind of still stacked. I think we'll move very quickly. Um, so tomorrow, when I get you guys an update, I'm gonna get you guys on some of the apartments around town, let you know prices in the area. I'll get you caught up on what Coca-Cola said. We'll also I'll see if I can get you around and show you, some of the changes we've made. So we'll see if we can get mobile to work a little bit better for tomorrow. Start pushing donations. Okay. So today's episode brought to you by the Make Avarice Foundation. If you promise to donate 99 cents a day, Avarice himself will send you a GIF every day. That's right. It may not make sense, but it will have peanuts in it because he doesn't know the difference between GIF and GIF. Was that good, Avarice? Was that good? Dude, if we could turn this into a Make-A-Wish Foundation, that'd be good. Oh, wait a minute. Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold on. You ready? That's right, it's 87 cents, not 99. My apologies. It's only 87 cents a day. You too can have an Avarice. Um, all right, you guys ready? I gotta be all serious for a moment. We are now taking live callers. You too can call in. I believe, what is the number? I think it's 937-662-0009. I think that's the number. Is that the number? Old dog, you might want to be near the phone. That might be. I'm pretty sure that's the number. The stream team can tell us. For just pennies a day, actually. Yeah. Let's see. Don't mind me. Don't know what I'm talking about. That's definitely Frost yourself. Gifts were the reverse OnlyFans. For $30 a month, you can feed a starving Avarice. That's true. For $30 a month, you too can name one of his socks. We'll name it after you. Absolutely. Can we do that? It's like name a tree, right? We can do that. I think we can do that.
Could have had me for 25.
That's true. Old Doug says that he gets paid 20 to make. Never mind. You have to pay to stop getting nudes sent to you. That's a subscription. Can I subscribe to stop getting stuff? At what point does that become a felony out of curiosity? All right. What else do we have for you guys? Dude, we've been on here for 2 hours. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right. Well, guys, we're getting closer. I know I say that like every day.
Well,
After the third harassment case, that's when it becomes a felony. Got it. Okay.
sounds like the boys are very
Yeah, no, honestly, I love doing these. We're trying to make sure that we stay consistent. Here's the problem. For me, it's midnight right now. For some of you guys, most of you guys are back on the West Coast. Man, it's like you're getting off work. I think I'm your new podcast for getting home. Which, by the way, if I'm your podcast for getting home, dude, you're probably in a lot of accidents. You should listen to better stuff. Nine three seven 662 0009. I was right. Yes. I've actually somehow memorized the number. I'll forget that in just a moment. Absolutely forget it. Although I can tell you, I've been putting that number on things. Some account number. Holy goodness, the administration stuff. I miss my managers. I can't wait for them to get here because I'm going to just unload all of that paperwork immediately and be like, see ya. All right, we're getting to the end, ladies and gentlemen. You know what happens when we get to the end? Here at Tin Roof Tavern Bar Style, that means it's toast time. Let's get your drinks ready, everybody. I'm going to give you just a few minutes. I'm going to let you get your drink ready. Remember, here in TRT Bar Style, it does not matter what you are drinking. It doesn't matter if your episode is brought to you by Pepsi Zero Sugar, where you are trying to lose weight, except no substitute. It doesn't matter if your episode is brought to you by the TRT, Tin Roof Tavern, when you want pizza and good food. Family, it's not just a word, it's who we are. And it doesn't matter if your episode is brought to you by Jaeger. When you want to get fucked up, Jaeger. Anyway, now that we've paid all the bills, if you're drinking orange soda, we don't care what you're drinking. If it's water, I don't care if you got a pen in your hand because you're vaping. I don't care if you got a doobie in your hand because you're hitting weed. I do care if you got cocaine in front of you because you're not sharing and that's just fucked up. Anyway, whatever it is, put your glass up in the air, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for Calypso's Lounge to come to an end, unfortunately. Couple quick shout outs before we get out of here. First of all, happy birthday to the family member. We know you out there. And as soon as I finally learn what your call sign is going to be, I'll start shouting your name out. But until then, happy birthday to you. Just know we welcome you into the family. We're glad you're here. To everybody else, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here with me. I appreciate it. I couldn't do it without you guys. If you absolutely are enjoying any of this, I would tell you to like and subscribe. But dude, what that's okay. Apparently that works. Hold on. Does that actually work? You can just say like and subscribe and people do that? Dude, is it Lamine? Lamine? I can't read. Don't make fun of me, man. Lemon, Lamine243. Appreciate the follow. We mean that wholeheartedly. Even if I mispronounced your name, which I hopefully I didn't, we do appreciate the follow. So, to all you people that are following us, thank you so much. Can't do it without you. Stream team, God, man, you guys make me laugh the whole time. You're making me look good. I know we're fixing some stuff. Guys, don't hate them, hate me. I'm the one causing the problems. They're doing everything they can to make this real. So, stream team, I appreciate you guys. Be sure to follow our stream team. Put TRT's Facebook page up in there. Get everybody to follow us and take a look, see what we're doing. The social media stream team, dude, they're rocking it. You guys are gonna want to watch those. Before I get out of here, I know you guys are holding your glass up in the air. This next part is very special to me, so I want to take a moment and say, hey, happy Veterans Day to all the veterans out there. I know I saved it to the last. I wanted a special segment in there, but I thought no better way for me to pay respects to the people that have put their lives on the line for my family, for this country, and for me. I just want to say on behalf of all of us that haven't said it and that can't say it, thank you. Thank you for being there. Thank you for putting yourself on that line for just even for a moment. This country is stronger with you. I hope you are getting anything you need if you need help. My love to the veterans. I hope we have you guys here in the bar. So that's going to be my toast. Veterans, I love you. Thank you for your service. You guys know me. I'm your bow with the flow. Dude, I'm Calypso. And on behalf of everybody here, from TRT to the stream team to Olddawg and myself, may the stars light your path. May the wind blow your way. We love you. We out. Have a great evening, everybody. Take a look at these tunes. Listen up. This is coming straight at you from Notorious.
Explosions?